Swiss cheese or Swiss chocolate? Lucerne or Bern? Car or train? Winter or summer? Let's settle this once and for all.
Most Swiss travel videos are a list of things to do that all sound great. The longer you watch, the longer your bucket list grows.
But in this video, we're actually choosing sides to help you make some real decisions. So sit down, grab a cup of something warm, and let's dive in, because our opinions might surprise you. Okay, the first question on our list is one we get asked quite often. That is Jungfraujoch or Matterhorn Glacier Paradise?
Ooh, okay. I think this is easy for me because there is just so much to do at Jungfraujoch.
Yeah.
Like Matterhorn Glacier Paradise is awesome and has its own experiences, but you get everything at Jungfraujoch. You have the train ride through a tunnel. You're on the longest glacier in Europe. You can hike to a mountain hut. There's the ice tunnel, the ice palace. I mean, there's just so much there. You could easily spend 3 or 4 hours, where I feel like at Matterhorn Glacier Paradise, after an hour, maybe an hour and a half, you've done and seen it all. Time to go back down.
Yeah, to me, the best thing about Glacier Paradise was the ride up there.
Yeah. By the way, all of these questions came straight from our email subscribers. So if you want to learn behind the scenes content about life in Switzerland, or get discounts on our new travel guides, or even just have a chance to influence our future content, then be sure to sign up and save us a spot in your inbox every Saturday. And the next question, traveling Switzerland by train or by car?
All right, this is pretty easy to me. If it's your first trip to Switzerland, or even your second, third, and fourth, and you're visiting most of the famous, well-known areas, go by train. It's just the easiest, most convenient way to travel. You can look out the windows and enjoy the scenery instead of worrying about traffic and navigation and parking. I think it's really important to mention too that even though you can get off the beaten path with a car, you cannot get to most mountain destinations with a car. So even if you're renting a vehicle, you're still gonna need to have some sort of train pass in most cases and have to ride transportation to actually get up into the mountains. Next question is hotel or Airbnb?
Okay, I know we're going this or that, but I kind of have both on this one. So if we're staying somewhere for like 3 nights or less, I think a hotel is just super convenient. It usually has free breakfast. It's usually a really central location. But more than 3 nights, it tends to just be more practical, convenient, and even cost savings, like cost effective to just stay in an Airbnb. Next question, Brett or Jana?
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're not going to pick sides because we're a package deal. So if we haven't met, we're Jana and Brett, Aplins in the Alps, and our mission is simple, and that's to help you travel Switzerland with confidence. Now, I tend to be the numbers nerd and the ideas guy, whereas Jana's the one behind all of our written content and graphics. Basically, she makes things look and sound pretty, and she is pretty.
Thank you.
So now that we've gotten that silly question out of the way, let's get back to the more impossible questions. This is a good one, and I think a lot of people are actually pretty curious about comparing different cities. So let's go with Lucerne or Bern.
Oh, you're right. We do get asked this question a lot. But it's no secret that Lucerne is our favorite Swiss city. Yeah. I just think it has so much to offer in a small city. It has a nearby mountain. It has a beautiful old town. There's fortress walls, covered wooden bridges. It's on a lake. There's museums and restaurants and culture. And Bern has a lot of that too. It's just much bigger. And if you really could only pick one Swiss city, hands down, we would say Lucerne.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning. Lucerne actually is probably the most practical hub if you're doing day trips in the mountains in central Switzerland. Whereas Bern, it just leaves you still like an hour by public transportation from the best mountain destinations in the Berner Oberland.
And Lucerne is actually in between a few of the scenic train routes, so that's a nice plus.
That's true. So the Gotthard Panorama Express begins or ends in Lucerne, as well as the Lucerne Interlaken Express.
Brienz Rothorn or Schynige Platte?
Good question. I'm so glad it's on the list. If you're into nostalgic train rides, then the Brienz Rothorn Bahn is pretty special. It is a working steam train, and there aren't that many opportunities for a ride like that in Switzerland. It's beautiful. The views of Lake Brienz in the mountains are incredible. But once you're up there, there's not a whole lot to do other than some longer hikes for the most part. Whereas Schynige Platte has something for everyone. Mm-hmm. It's also a beautiful train ride. You will have lake and mountain views. It's nostalgic and old-timey carriage.
The original carriages.
Really cool. Once you're there, there's a restaurant, there is live Alphorn music, and I just feel like the hikes there are more approachable.
Yeah.
And no matter who you are, you're going to find something you'll like.
You forgot to also mention there's a great playground at Schynige.
That's right.
There's an alpine flower garden there, and they just added this new like skywalk view. So there's just more to do at the top of Schynige than at the Brienz Rothorn.
But both of these are just a taste of why we love our hometown area of the Jungfrau region. So if you're coming here, be sure to watch this video next to discover our favorite spots and can't miss places. Maybe the toughest question on this list.
Oh no.
Glad we gave it to you. Swiss chocolate or Swiss cheese?
Oh man, that is hard because we are foodies. Okay, I think though you can get really good chocolate other places in the world. Like we did a chocolate tour in Belgium and it was so good. But I don't feel like you can get this quality of cheese elsewhere in the world. So, and I don't mean Swiss cheese like you think in America, the white holy cheese, that's Emmentaler cheese. I mean, there are so many varieties from mountain and Alp cheese to like tête de moine. Like there's just so much variety and not even raclette and fondue. I just think you have to pick cheese because you can get dozens of different kinds where I feel like chocolate is more similar and there's really good quality chocolate elsewhere in the world.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, you can taste the difference from one Alp to the other. When you're eating the cheese, you can even taste what the cows have been grazing on. So cheese is my pick too.
This next one has 3 parts. German or French or Italian speaking Switzerland.
Okay, wow. Let me start by saying this. I think it's really cool that you can actually have all 3 experiences in one small country, like the different cultures, languages, food, all that is really cool. Having said that, and I'm probably going to make some people mad, so feel free to let us know your thoughts in the comments about this or any of the questions. Just keep it civil. This is supposed to be fun. When I'm in French-speaking Switzerland or Italian-speaking Switzerland, I find that personally I would rather be in France or Italy. Nothing against these places. I enjoy all these places, but that's my personal take. Whereas when I'm in German-speaking Switzerland, it's exactly where I want to be.
Me too. That's why we live here.
All right. Well, since you gave me an impossible 3-part question, I'm going to give you one of the 4-part questions. What? And that is winter versus spring, summer, or fall in Switzerland.
Oh man. I'm gonna give myself some grace and blend a little here.
Okay.
I'm going to pick summer and fall. So I love summer everywhere. I love the sunshine, being warm. I love wearing shorts and a t-shirt. But I think also when I think Switzerland, I think of mountains and lakes. And like summer and fall is just the time to go hiking in the mountains, to go swimming in the lake, to go biking out by the lakes. But I will say, I'm a little biased because I didn't grow up in the mountains and I didn't grow up doing winter sports, but I'm naturally not going to choose it because I'm not a skier, snowboarder, anything like that.
Yeah, I think winter's pretty obvious, like what you get and what you don't get. Spring, I think, is the tough one. I would say that it is the most beautiful time of the year, especially in the Alps. You've got the wildflowers. Yeah. There's something unique about having so much snow in the mountains. It just adds this different depth. Waterfalls are amazing. So if you're after like the typical Swiss beauty, then April, May, even early June, I think are ideal. But a lot of people are caught off guard because they want to do some high mountain trails, do some hiking in the Alps, and you will often find those snow covered even into like late June, sometimes early July. So if that's why you're coming, summer, fall, early fall is best. In fact, like my favorite times of year the last couple of years have been like late September, early October. Beautiful. Here's a question that many first-time travelers to Switzerland are dying to know an answer to, and that is Jungfrau region or Zermatt?
That is a tough one. Okay.
These are all tough ones.
They're all tough, that's right. But here's the thing. We have so much to say on this topic. We've already made another video all about it, listing the pros, the cons, and the best experiences in each destination. So instead of spending way too long trying to explain our answer here, I'll just point you to that video and we'll cue it up for you here after you finish this one. So very recently, we just went to our 26th Swiss canton, which means we've been to every canton in Switzerland. So your question is, which one is the most underrated?
Most underrated. I guess that would assume that it's not well known. So I'm going to go with Canton Glarus. So we were actually last here 5 years ago, which means I think we'll have some pictures, but we're not probably going to have any videos that we can show you. But it's a small but mountainous and just beautiful canton. So like the things I remember most from traveling there, we had this picnic on the Kluntaler, which is just this gorgeous little lake, a little picnic breakfast in the morning. And then there's a mountain area, a hiking area called Braunwald that was really, really, really pretty. We also saw some waterfalls there. We began a drive over the Clausen Pass from there. It's not a huge canton. It's not going to keep you busy forever, but even just as like a day trip, maybe from Zurich or elsewhere, I think it's a hidden gem and definitely a place that people, especially in this case, if you have a car, should be checking out.
I know there are 26 of them, but I would actually pick the exact same one
for
the same reasons.
Really?
Yes, when I thought about this, I thought probably Glarus. I just felt like we were there with locals and there weren't a lot of tourists, but it had so much to offer. So I agree.
And by the way, we actually didn't know the answers. We didn't know what each other were going to say. So this is super fun for us too. What would you say is the best day trip from Switzerland to a nearby country?
Italy. Hands down, Italy. No questions.
You're a little biased.
Yeah, you just come to Switzerland, you get the nature, you get the mountains, the lakes, like you just have all this outdoor time. And then I feel like you go to Italy and you get the food, you get the wine, you get this totally different culture. You cross the Alps and you get like the Mediterranean climate, culture, food, people. So Switzerland and Italy are like best friends to pair together.
Okay, so I'm going to disagree with you there. I think Switzerland and Italy is the best combo of like two countries to visit in a trip. I don't think it's a day trip. It's great. Like maybe you could go to Como because that's actually only like 40 minutes from Lugano. But most of like the really great places, I wouldn't only want to see as a day trip. Like it would take longer to get there and then I'd want to spend more time.
So you're going to say Liechtenstein?
I'm not going to say Liechtenstein.
Oh.
I'm actually going to say Colmar, France. And the reason is it's beautiful. It's like this Beauty and the Beast vibes. And it's like less than an hour by train from Basel. So actually it's a really cool thing to stay in Basel during the Christmas market season because Basel has some of the best markets in the entire country. But then it's so easy to go to Colmar and Strasbourg.
I didn't even think of that. And we did that with the Christmas market. So that's a good answer. But I might still stick with Italy.
She's got Italian heritage.
I hope you're not hungry because the next one's about food. Fondue or raclette?
Oh, gosh. Well, you can do chocolate fondue. So there's that.
Oh, that's true.
My family actually has been doing a fondue tradition on New Year's Eve for like 25 years. No joke. So I've been exposed to fondue for a long time. But I don't know. I just think raclette, like you can have your own little stove in your house. You could do it in a restaurant. Also, the most traditional way is to just do the huge cheese wheel over like an open flame and just like scrape it off. Like, I don't know, it's just awesome. I got to go with raclette.
I think so too, because you can buy raclette with different spices and herbs in it. So you can have different flavors and you can put it over potatoes. You can put it over bread. You can put it over sausage. I mean, there's just all these varieties. So I agree. And actually, if we ever go out somewhere and there's an option of fondue or raclette, we always pick raclette.
This one's a little bit more about practical trip planning than about like fun experiences, but it's an important question. Swiss travel pass or the Swiss half fare card?
You always talk about train passes, so I'm honored you're sharing the spotlight with me for a little bit. Okay, so we traveled with the Swiss travel pass way back on our honeymoon in 2012. But since then, we've really only traveled with the half fare card. And now we have the 1 year half fare card because we live here. That just makes the most sense for us. But to really answer this, it depends on your travel plans and preferences because everyone's itinerary is different. So we actually have an entire Ultimate Swiss Train Pass video and free checklist to help you really pick your best train pass for your itinerary. So I'm just going to point you to that instead of spending 30 minutes trying to answer this question. Let's keep on with the train topic. So Golden Pass Express or Glacier Express?
Yeah, so the Glacier Express is an 8-hour train experience. How can you top that? However, I'm going to say Golden Pass Express. I think it's every bit as beautiful. It's also just way more practical, in my opinion, for most trip itineraries because you can go from Interlaken to Montreux. Those are two places that a lot of travelers have on their trip plans already. Right. It's about 3 to 3.5 hours. You're going to see a lot of diversity. Not the higher mountains like you would on the Glacier Express, but you're going next to Lake Thun. You're ending near Lake Geneva. Those are pretty. And you're also going through some gorgeous little alpine towns. I also just think the experience on board the Golden Pass Express is pretty unique and diversified. Like if you do the prestige class, There's nothing quite like that in Swiss scenic train world. But I know it's cheating a little bit because it's not technically the Golden Pass Express. On that same line, you also have the opportunity to do the Golden Pass panoramic trains.
So cool.
As well as the Belle Epoque trains that make you just feel like you are transported to 100 years ago. So overall, Golden Pass Express. You got to choose between Lake Thun or Lake Brienz.
This is easy for me. Lake Brienz. I find whenever I want to go to the lake, I go to Lake Brienz. The color of it is just so blue turquoise. I think it's so beautiful. There's not as much to do on this lake. There's a few small towns. There's Giesbach waterfalls. But when I just want to go swimming or like rest on the lake and look out at the water, I always go to Lake Brienz. Lake Thun does have castles and it has boat rides. There's the caves there. There's more towns. But I don't know. I just feel like Lake Brienz is a little more of an authentic alpine lake. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Swiss beer or Swiss wine?
Swiss beer or Swiss wine? Swiss wine is really kind of impressing me and growing on me. Like I've had good experiences in Swiss wineries, but I've had really, really fun experiences in like small Swiss breweries where you just go in and you instantly kind of feel like you know the people that work there. It's maybe less about the taste of these things because I do enjoy both. But if I had to pick one, I would choose Swiss beer. Even though like if I had to choose one drink overall to enjoy for the rest of my life, I would choose wine.
I don't feel like I'm qualified to answer because I don't like beer. I don't drink beer. However, I feel like I have to say, if you do like wine and want to try Swiss wine, you need to do it while you're here because Switzerland only exports 1% of their wine.
That's a good point.
So if you like both, there's lots of opportunities to try both, but you really should try the wine here. This is another 3-part question. Mount Pilatus, Mount Titlis, or Mount Rigi?
Oh man. So Switzerland has so many amazing places. In fact, you need to watch this next because it'll tell you not only how to choose between these 3 incredible mountain destinations, but it also has even more day trips that you can enjoy while you're in Lucerne. So watch that next and we'll see you in Switzerland.